Hey folks, Coach Simmons here, and it's about time to have a real serious conversation. Let's talk with UMass first. UMass has a history, a proud history of football in the FCS. Mark Whipple won the NCAA 1AA championship at UMass. Then UMass had this big bright idea. Let's go ahead and honestly, let's go to the FBS. Of course, that was a couple years later, but I believe it was 2014. But since that time, 2014, let's just go ahead and say they have not been great. Mark Whipple's second stint, 16-44. Walt Bell went 2-23. Alex Miller went 0-3. Don Brown, 6-28. Shane Montgomery 0-2, and we'll wait to see what Joe does. Honestly, gonna be honest about it, people. Shane Montgomery went from a offensive analyst to head coach. Receivers coach at a D2 school, FCS school with Albany, was Mr. Mincy before coming to UMass. Saginaw Valley State D2 wide receivers coach was Matt Donato. What I'm telling you is they didn't really have a big pick or let's just call them a dominant previous coaching history for the coach they got in the last couple of years. Hell, Scott McClaffery, I believe, was Colorado State Director of Strength and Conditioning coach, who was the head coach at UMass. This history, their biggest rival, I believe, was Boston College. All-time wins, 5. All-time losses, 23. UConn, UMass, kept them close. 38 UMass wins, 37 UMass losses, so they won that one. But let's just say once again, his story, yeah, I said it right, his story of UMass is not great. It's really not. It's not. As far as conference honors, many men who were named player coach, rookie of the year in their respective conferences. It's been 2010. Last time any player for UMass won any kind of conference award. So you can say, well, hell, weren't they independent for a while? Yeah. But no. They have not won a conference award in over 15 years. Let's sink in. Now to the other school on this list. The poorest school in the FBS. When I say poorest school, I mean it's not even close. This is crazy how poor they are. Of course, they make more money than me. I hate it, but they're saying when it comes to actual conferences and leagues or whatever you want to call it, no one is worse. UL Monroe. According to institutional profile on the Night Newhouse data page, they spend about 31 mil. They only bring in 18 mil. Working a negative balance of about $13 million. Put that in perspective. Put that into perspective, people. Schools like, let's pick a school inside of their state, if you don't mind. Okay, the Southern University at Baton Rouge, FCS school, HBCU, has $29 million in expenses, $16.32 million revenues. Also in a negative. But just how much more in a negative are they than ULM? This school couldn't make money if it was printed for. When it comes to attendance, both of these schools wouldn't rank in the top, man, I want to say the top 20 in FCS attendance rankings. According to Hero Sports, looking at November 25th, Sam Herder's attendance records, Holy Cross averaged 12,084 people for games last year. While it's hard to justify and verify what's going on at UMass, the one figure we do have is 12,082 for home games. ULM, not even that much better. They wouldn't rank in the top 15. So they're not getting money from ticket sales. Why are they even FBS? I'll tell you why. The reason why ULM and UMass are FBS, and I don't even, I can prove this for a fact. Looking at the FBS schedules on FBSschedules.com, if you go to University of Massachusetts, FBS Independent, of course, you see why. These schools get more money to play the big schools as an FBS team than they would as an FCS team. Am I lying about that? These schools have only decided to go up in conference because of the fact, up in division because of the fact they give more money to get their ass beat. Oops. That's the big word out loud. Until the NCAA starts regulating that, I'm not saying you have to pay $5 million to come up to the FBS. But the fact is, you got to make sure that you go ahead and you dedicate money to your football team. So looking at the schedule for UMass, let's be honest, let's start with them first. Temple gonna whoop that ass. They go to Iowa, to Missouri, Western Michigan, Kent State, Buffalo, Central Michigan, Akron, NIU, Ohio, Bowling Green. You see any of those games that actually sound like a win? They barely beat Bryant last year, so don't put them down there. Be honest about it. You're looking at schools like ULM. These are my two examples of this. Their schedule, very simple. Simple schedule. St. Francis Red Flash. You have to go down for that one to get it. Do you think they're going to beat Alabama? This ain't 2009. UTEP, Arkansas State, Northwestern. Not in the Western State, Northwestern. Coastal Carolina, Troy, Southern Miss, probably. Old Dominion, South Alabama, Texas State, and UL Lafayette. These teams are going to realize what they are. Both of them were good in the FCS. Well, damn, they say they were iconic in the FCS. Now that they moved up, they are perennial bottom dwellers. That's an insult to bottom dwellers. Maybe it's time we do some regulation. Maybe it's time we go ahead and let UL Monroe and UMASS come home for FCS. Keep thinking about people, maybe they should go up to the Tarleton State, should the Stephen F. Austin, should the Jackson, should these schools go up? FAMU, should they go up with FBS? Sacramento States of the world. I think it's before they move up, we should welcome two teams home. Coach Simmons. Well.